All right. So stopping the run when you're undersized. And it's a problem that a lot of us have. Sometimes you're just going to go up against bigger people. So how do we do that? And obviously I'm talking about our system, which is, 3-3-3-5 system, but some of the concepts I'm going to talk about will transfer over into any other systems. Our box a lot of times looks like a 3-4. It'll transfer to a 4-2-5, 4-3 defense. Some of the concepts we're going to talk about here. So we're going to go over our size, how big we were, our philosophy, why we run the defense we do, what we see, so what our base run fits are with what we see, how our D line plays, our movements, our inside linebacker reads and fits, our outside linebackers, how we play the edge. We'll talk a little about option, a little bit about some DB involvement, and then some goal line stuff. All right, so here's our size and stats, and I'll really focus on the last couple of years here. But we're in a 3-3. 2021, we had a 4-man rotation this on the D line. We were 6'2", 210. 3.61 yards per carry, 9 rushing touchdowns in 10 games on the season. Not bad. This year we had a 6-man rotation. Average size was 6'1", 215. Our biggest player was 6'4", 225. Some schools, smaller schools, it might seem huge. Most of the lines we were playing against were averaging, 270, 280, 290. Much bigger than us. 13 games, including the playoffs, 2.34 yards per carry, right? Just under 65 rush yards per game. In 13 games, only 6 rushing touchdowns, and none were by a handoff. In the regular season, only 2, and they were both one was a quarterback scramble, one was a little bit of a broken play, and the quarterback scored. But we did not let a handoff score a touchdown all season in 13 games. What's our philosophy? 1, stop the run if you want to make a run. That's number 1. Got to be able to stop the run. We're in Illinois. We're going to get bad weather in the playoffs. You got to be able to stop the run. The more D-line you can have head up, the better, right? So if we're in a 4-man front, right, I want 2 techniques. We run a 3-3. I want 0 nose. We call them tight 5 techniques or almost 4s, but we want head up D linemen if we're small. I'm going to go over why we want that. We want to force outside and deep throws, free safety help. If you saw the match 3 presentation, you'd understand that. We want to stack the box. We want as many players in the box as possible. We want to let our D linemen make plays and not think. Why? Usually they're not the smartest people on the field. We want them to go make plays and be aggressive. What I feel gives offense the most headaches. I'm a former OC. I was an offensive coordinator. I try to build around that. Simple equals fast. This is really a simple comment that we don't do enough of as defensive coaches. Don't let the offense do what they want to do. Most offenses have 1, 2, 3 things they're good at. Don't let them do it. Just don't let them. Find a way to make them play an entire football game left-handed. Make them beat you in a way they don't want to beat you. Make them do it. And a lot of what we're going to talk about is stopping feet. Whether it's a running back, whether it's a lineman, whatever it might be, we're going to talk a lot about forcing bigger players to stop their feet. Because if you can get them to stop their feet, they can't use their size and their power against you if their feet are not moving. If their feet are not moving, we're going to use our speed to get to the ball faster than you can get to the ball, right? Because think about it this way, right? If I'm smaller and slower than the other team, right, we're probably in trouble no matter what we do. But I'm smaller than you, I'm going to be faster than you. If I'm faster than you, we need to slow you down and stop you so we can get more hats where we need to go. So that's a lot of how we do it, and this is how we line up and do this. I call ours a 3-5. You can call it a 3-3. We just don't lock our box. We're not always in this traditional 3-3 stack look, and our linebackers kind of move together. So I call it a 3-5, but it's a 3-3 stack at its base. We get D linemen that have 2-way goes, and we move them a lot. We move D linemen. As a former offensive lineman, when you do not know what the D lineman is going to do at the snap, it makes it a lot tougher. When they're head up and then go left or right and go all over the place, makes things a lot tougher. If I'm a big guy and I know where that 5 tech's going to be, I know where that 3 tech's going to be, I'll down block, I'll drive them all day, right? But if I got to be slow off the ball because he's moving one way or another, I have a whole nother set of issues. So our cover 3 allows us to load the box. we get more athletes on the field. You're going to see we only install 2 fronts, but we give with our movements, with those fronts and the way our linebackers align, we give tons of different looks to the offense with being very simple on defense. And then we give our big guys to the offensive line. Makes them better. Okay. Here's our base look. It is a 2x2 set. We're in a 3-3 stack. Pretty simple. But within this look, based on which way our nose goes, right, and what other stunts we put on between our 2 fronts and bumping our linebackers, we get 36 different looks we show the offense in our base. And our guys only know that as 2. We have 2 fronts, and then we have a couple of stunts in here, a couple stunts, couple blitzes. Right? Real basic stuff. We get all of these looks in within about 2 weeks and over the summer. Like very simple stuff. Basic look. Nose can go 1 of 3 directions. He can't 2 gap. We don't do it very often. He's usually moving one way or the other. We can pinch. We can move the D line, and we can send a backer with it. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Move them the other way. Okay. Here's our tight look. No bump. We're in our traditional stack. Once again, we get our nose movements. Okay. We can move the D line with a blitz or without a blitz, either way. We can go out with the D line and then send blitzes or not send blitzes. Okay. But here's what a slant would look like. We moved, bring the blitz. We're in a completely different look than we were pre-snap. Okay. Now we're bumped, right? And I'll go over our bump rules, but here's our Will, here's our Mike, here's our Sam. So our linebackers are bumped. Here's our outside backer. This is trips over here. This is a completely different look, though, right? No matter what run you're going to or call here, we are now in a different look, blocking-wise, for the offensive line. But all we did was just move over a little because we needed to respace the field. Those can go either way. We can pinch. We can bring an outside backer, move the D line. We can rotate the coverage, roll down the free. There's a lot of different things we can do here. Very, very simple, right? But you can see we get D-line movement right off the bat, and we're in completely different spots than we were at the snap. Give some really, really bad angles for the O-line. Tight look, bumped, same thing. Go either way. We can rotate, slant the D-line, send a backer, go the other way. We can go out. Lots of different looks we can give. But on the snap of the ball, there's lots of confusion based on what we do. Once again, I prefer loading the box out of cover 3. It's what I'm comfortable doing. I found that where I've been, and I've been to a few different places coaching, it's easier to find the outside lap linebacker that can cover than it is to find the safety that can roll down and fit in the run. That's just what I found. That doesn't mean that that's the case for everybody. That's what I found, and that's what I'm comfortable with and comfortable with teaching, and we seem to pick that up well. We can check the looks to get more players in the box, and our rip list match rules allow us to cover vertical routes when we're loading the box as well. Our positions, we have an end, a nose, and a tackle. So our ends are stronger field side D lineman, nose guard, tackle's the weak side. Sam, a Mike, and a Will are stack backers. Bandit is to the field outside backer, Rover to the boundary outside backer. We have a field corner, a boundary corner, and a free safety. Base D and run, fit, install. Our entire mindset is that the way we're going to play stuff is we're going to get +1 to the ball. We want an extra person to the ball that you cannot block. If we do that, we're in really good shape. If for some reason, right, we don't get that, we need to beat a block somewhere, we're going to try to make sure that that's a skill player blocking us and not a lineman. How do we do that? There's some scheme stuff that we're able to do with spilling and the way we move our D line to make sure that we're beating a skill player, not an O lineman, if we need to. Now, how do we teach this stuff? Pre-snap. Everyone has a gap pre-snap, right? So all our gaps will always be covered pre-snap. However, that doesn't really mean a lot because once the ball is snapped, we're all going where our key takes us. Whether you're a D lineman, whether you're an inside, outside back, or whatever, free safety inserting on the run, your read is going to tell you what to do. Don't worry about your gap. Worry about what your read is telling you and what the play or what play is going on. Right? We spill everything. Spill everything in our base rule. There's one exception. I'm going to show you that. It's in our film clips. Spill everything. Why? Why do we spill everything? We're smaller. If I'm smaller, right, I want the lineman to stop their feet when I'm wrong arming. I want the back to stop his feet and have to bounce. And I want to be able to run over the top of stuff, right? I don't want to have to fill with somebody that's bigger than me running full speed. I want to run to the sideline with somebody that I'm faster with, right? That goes to being undersized. D-line, you're responsible for running back on option. Why? D-line can take the running back completely away and force the ball to get to the perimeter where, once again, we should be faster than you, right? We should be. We're smaller and slower. That's not a good recipe in football, right? So we should be faster than you. So we want to make sure we take care of the inside run game first. The number one thing we ask our players is, what did your read do? We don't want to know, what play happened was this. Just tell me what your read did. Did your read down block? Did your read reach? Right? Did your read pass block? Did your read run to the flat? What did your read do? Simplify the language, because if they can't tell you what the read did, we have other problems. Either their eyes were bad, they just don't understand, right? I don't need them to know what, power is, what counter is. I need to know, if my guy goes one way, this is what I do, right? Especially when we're teaching young guys. When they get older, they'll understand that. But what did your read do? Linebackers and DBs align to skill players. So we align to formation with these guys. Our D-line does not have to adjust unless we get like an unbalanced front. We have a clip of that in there too. Right? What do we see? Here's how I break everything down and how we stop this. We are going to categorize everything into one of these. Now, option is not on here. We don't see a ton of it. I'm talking more true triple flex bone stuff. We'll see some RPO and some triple out of the gun, which usually goes into zone, but this is how we categorize stuff. To me, ISO schemes are the biggest threat to our defense. We spend a lot of time studying them and figuring out how to stop them appropriately. I'm going to show you the clip. The G folding and then the wing folding, some teams call power. I don't care what the offense calls it. I care what it means to our kids and how we have to defend it. So to me, we have to defend it like ISO, so I'm calling it ISO. Gap schemes anytime we pull, right? Power, counter, whatever you want to call the stuff, it's a gap scheme. Put them all together. We're going to stop them all the same way in our base. Zone schemes, either inside zone, mid zone, or outside zone. We try to separate an outside zone with a cutback. We will lump that into the zone. That's different to us than like a sweep or a jet sweep play, depending on the offense and how your offense might call it where you're at. Sometimes they say outside zone is like the reach and run plays, but we try to determine, are they trying to cut it back or are they trying to hit the perimeter? We will lump any pin, pull, buck, sweep into the same category. If we see more than one offensive lineman pulling, like two guards pulling to the perimeter, we'll call it buck. It could be pin, pull schemes, but we just lump it into buck. And then sweep plays, your jet, your rocket, all that good stuff. All right. So this play, we would call this G-fold ISO. Your offense might call it a power scheme. You might have seen it called a power scheme. Why do I call it ISO? Anytime we're trying to use the space that we give you, we will use this bubble. The offense is trying to do that. That's ISO, right? They're trying to insert ISO here. Two guys through the hole. I'm calling that ISO. All right. So how do we need to stop it? One, we need to be aggressive. Two, we need to try to guess right with our nose. And if it's really killing us, we just need to start taking it away with T-line movement. But let's start with one. Here's our base. Okay. We're going to read this read step here of this tackle. This is the play side tackle. And we are going to send our nose here to this wing back. So this isn't a D-line movement, right? He reads it and starts squeezing. Right, this side, we're playing our outside technique here. Getting blocked out. But right now, we got a double team here. We've closed the A gap. Our end is doing a great job of washing down this tackle. We're looking to fit these windows, but these windows get dirty really fast. So we don't have to fit in there. This is beautiful. This is a mess inside, right? Our Will linebacker is going to fit this window. Our Sam's here, and our Mike's just going to sort through the garbage, and we're going to find it. We're a full spill team, so any gap power stuff, we're going to spill it. We're going to spill it right here. We're going to spill the kick out, right? And then the puller gets to our outside guys, who's going to send it back to the Mike. This is the one time we're going to send it back. If I'm a stack linebacker and the kick out gets to me, I'm going to send it back to the Mike. Dan zone view is pretty good here. I'm going to spill, right? And I'm going to get over the top, right? I have depth from the Mike position. I get over the top of this down block, right? This shouldn't be a contest here. Our Mike should be able to beat that all day. Okay. This is how we teach the spill. So we're going to watch right here. When we teach it, we're going to teach him to wash. Here comes the wash. Wrong arm, but when he wrong arms, he's going to bend back, right? He's going to put his pressure back on this shoulder and bend back to make the play. Why we guys were just starting to log us and run past us, so we're going to bend back here. Now, once again, here's our Mike, here's our Sam. Okay. We're in a pretty good position here. We're going to make this bounce. The running back has to bounce, and we're okay. Now, our lineman makes the play. We're in a great spot here. And that, anytime we see a skill player, yeah, that's more of a thicker skill player. But anytime we're seeing a single-digit number and he's meeting us in the hole, we need to be aggressive with that. You're going to see our Mike, Sam, and Will a lot of times slip offensive linemen, right? We're going to use our handwork and slip them. But when we see a skill player, we're going to meet it. Okay, we're talking about some nose guard play here. What if we guess wrong? We want to guess right with the nose. We have rules for it. We have base rules for it. We have game plan rules for which way we're sending the nose based on formation. Okay, what if we guess wrong? Here we guess is wrong, right? Now, what did your read do? So watch the nose. If you look at him right now, he's already spinning back into this guard. The ball is here. It does not reach the quarterback's hands. Now, he's going to get blocked pretty hard, but all he is doing is ensuring this guard can't get the Mike. Because if this guard can't block the Mike, we're +1 on the ball all day. Here's 3 guys. 2 blockers are coming through. We're good on this side if there was a handoff, because our Will would have been there. Let's watch it from the end zone. Watch the nose. He took a step, and he's already starting to spin before the quarterback even has the ball. That's it. That's all it takes. The Mike should be free to make this and get over the top. And he is. Same thing versus a trap wing T team here. They're having some practice. He's getting trapped, wrong arm it. We want this to bounce and to help or get underneath and make the play. One or the other. Let's talk zone. We want to force cut back on zone. Why? It forces the back to at least put his foot in the ground, stop his forward momentum. We want to force the cutback into our linebackers fitting. So we teach our linebackers to fit windows. Our Mike sees an open window here. He wants to fit it. Our Sam is kind of hanging back on this window, and he's going to fit here. Our nose makes the play, but he wins his block. He wins. This back has to cut it back into this window if he wants a chance, but he's going to cut it back right into where we want him to go. Here's a great look at windows. This window's open, hit it. This window's not open yet, so we're going to slow play and see what develops. Perfect. We're going to get buck sweep here. Now, tough look. So sometimes we'll game plan for it. We'll have some calls on if it's going to hurt us. Here we can't because they motioned from trips. And now we're going to get buck from here. But let's win with our rules. I'm going to show you from the end zone. Nose, let's guess right. If our nose is getting single blocked on a perimeter play just by the center, he should win. We need to be faster than them. So if the play's going here, we should win. We have now won, right? Our nose is all the way over here. He saw what happened, right? He's going at this guard. That guard's gone. He knows where the play's going. Keep running, right? This tackle either needs to chip or block the will. He can't do both. He goes to the will. Our nose wins. And this kid just likes hitting people, so he takes the first blocker out, frees up the mic to make the play. Now, the other way we've seen teams run buck sweep out of this is they'll pull, the center and the tackle here, right? And then they'll block down. Same rules apply. If you're going this way and he blocks down, get over the top, keep running, right? We're going to get +1 to the ball with our guys. Finally, a perimeter play here. We're going to get some great edge work again, where we fold back, we force him to block us, and we're going to be over the top. That's great work, getting the ball to our faster players. Okay, we're going to insert the free here, so he becomes our extra rusher. I will let you know that if you're going to do this, I'll show you some clips where he had the free safety. You need to communicate with the rest before the game because he's actually going to stand right next to the umpire. You see the umpire just get out. He taps him on the hip. The umpire knows he's going to get out of his way. So they're standing right next to each other pre-snap. Another jet sweep here. And here's kind of what I like about having faster linebackers, getting more linebackers on the field is, yeah, we don't want this 5 technique to get reached. Nobody does, right? Obviously. Right? Here, he's actually going to get reached. So he gets reached. But here's the thing, right? As long as the tackle can't come off of this block to pick up the mic, we're going to +1 this, right? Because the fullback, tight end, whatever, is going to lead through on our will. The guard has to block the mic. Right? As long as he doesn't get reached and get to the next level, that's a free run through. Right here we're at. We get motion. See, our mic already started to go. Our mic is faster than the guard, right? He has to be. Is this great here? No, this isn't great. But he needs to go to the mic right now. If he doesn't, we're going to be okay. And even if he does, I'm still going to take our mic in space. All right. So DL play, different looks. We've looked at some of that stuff, but what do? We only install our base front and our tight front. We have some other things. We have a 4-man front we can put in. We can do some other things with it as well. But that's what we're going to major in is those 2 fronts. We have 3 options of where we're going to move our nose. We combo those with different linebacker alignments. We give tons of different looks to the offense. But base movements are key. We would love to have a nice big D lineman to put in and run a tight front. We don't. But what we can do is move our D line. We can create our pinch look, creates a tight front with movement, right? That's what we want to be in a lot. We want to get in that tight front with movement. So while we're still small, we still get the ability to run that. So how do we use D-line movement? First, we tell our D-line this. Listen, they're going to do a lot of dirty work. Our nose, you're going to get double teamed a lot, right? And you're going to be going into pinch. You're going to be creating piles and double team. It's going to be a mess. But if you get single blocked and you're moving, your job's to make the play, right? So you're going to get a couple opportunities every game to make a huge play. Go make it. Like, we're not holding you back from anything. Go make it. They get two-way goes on their pass rush, and on a run play, we're sending you inside a lot. We're letting you move around a lot. You're getting one-on-one block. Go make the play. Beat the guy, make the play. Slow down the offensive lineman, beat him with speed at the next level. That's how you use movement, right? Make the offensive line slow down. If they slow down, they can't get their hands on your faster players, right? So you're going to see in a couple of these clips, we don't actually do anything to the O-lineman except make them stop a little bit, and then we just beat them with speed, right? Confuse them a little. Make the O-line, make the reads messy. We want to make them uncomfortable. If they're uncomfortable, they play slow. If they play slow, that speed difference becomes greater. Okay. Force the ball where we want it to go. If we want the ball to get bounced, force it to get bounced. Force the spill. We want it to stay inside, force it to do that. Force double teams on the nose. If your nose is getting double teamed, right, you're going to be winning. You're going to be getting, your linebackers are going to be able to flow to the ball easier. It's so simple. If you have to force double teams on the nose, and the way our nose moves, if you're not checking him with at least a hand, he's going to beat you a lot of time. We're going to guess right eventually, and we're going to get you on some plays. Okay. And then we're going to create some run blitz gaps. 3-3 is already great blitzing defense. We're going to make it even better. All right. So let's start with ISO. So we prefer to stop ISO with pinch. If we are feeling ISO, we want to pinch, right? We want to get into a tight look and force this back to stop his feet and bounce, force this back to hit a different window. So what we would tell our linebacker here is that if you get this ISO read is fill, but we know it's pinch. So our D line is flying inside, and he knows now this is the window he's going to hit. Now, this is a pretty good fullback, so you're going to see him bounce and get to this linebacker. But look at the mess we've created. There is not a lot of good things happening here on an ISO look. Force the bounce, make him run it into traffic. Let's watch here. We get motion and we get back. So we are in our tight look. We're going to move from the tight look, right? We're smaller. We're not just going to sit in this tight look and let you pound us in the face, right? We're going to move a lot from it. But look where we're at. This guard, it has to block this linebacker for this play to work, right? He has to. But in our tight look, if this guy's going inside, this tackle can't block him. He could try to cut him, but we're still going to take this window away, and someone's going to come free. So guard has to chip. Mike linebacker is completely free here. Right? And especially this. He's playing a window read right here. He knows the D line is going to take this away, and he can hit this window right now. Perfect. All right. Here's a good look. So we're showing this. We're showing blitz. It's 3rd and 5. I was anticipating pass. We showed blitz here. I don't like showing too much against run, but it does create some confusion. Okay. This is a pin and pull scheme. So we're going to get down block, down block, down block, pull, pull, pull. Problem is we have a movement and blitz on. So when we're showing They don't exactly know where to go. So watch. Linebacker's going to fly out of there. We're going to win. Just one person needs to win here. But right now, look at the confusion we've created. We're down blocking this nose. This nose is going away. So this guard tries to go to the linebacker. He's already read the play. He's gone. Right? He was supposed to peel and block this linebacker. This linebacker's sitting back. Right? He dropped way off. Our nose guard, right? Unblocked. Confusion gets created. Confusion completely gets created here by this movement. We can send the entire D-line one way. This is more of a game plan thing when we know a play's going one direction or another. But once again, we can force stopping feet. He's trying to get to the perimeter. We beat him there. Has to make a cut and a decision. We get in a better spot. Good look at windows. We're going to hit this window. We're going to hit this window. What I said before, D-line, when we go inside to make a play. So back's on my side. If it's a run play, it's probably going over here. I'm going inside 100 miles an hour. Win, go make a play. All right, watch from the end zone. Same thing. We want to win. We're going inside, beat him. Beat him across his face. Beat them, right? If you're going inside and they hand the ball off, go make the play. Now, you might be saying, because that's what I would tell my offensive lineman, cut him. If he's there inside, we got to cut him, right? Cut him right away. We'll make a play off it. Here's why you can't cut him. So now we go to a tight front. Okay? If we go to cut and we are moving the direction away from where you're going to cut block, you're going to miss. And he moves a lot, right? We're going to move these D linemen a lot. So we go to cut here and he whiffs because we have moved away from where his cut is. So we have whiffed. We have avoided it. Our nose is spinning back, forcing the double team. And 15 right here is going to go make the play. But if he didn't, you're going to see the whole crew is waiting for him, right? That movement created confusion. The line is stopping. They have to play high. They don't exactly know where they're going because we're moving so much. Same thing. Go hard. If you're going inside, go hard. Watch the end zone view. Go hard. All right. So what about blitz lanes? So now we're in tight. Once again, you have to respect this. Right? You have to respect this. But we're going to send our nose away. We're going to go out here. Just a little jab step, right? The little jab step is enough to win here. Right? He took one half step out because you have to respect this, and now you're going to go block the Sam. Problem is, our Mike's already won. Right? He's able to fill in the backfield, create a nice blitz lane here. Same thing against our offense. We go out, we create a nice blitz lane to hit there. All right, how do we teach our linebacker reads and fits? 3 possible run reads. We can read the offensive line, guard, usually reading guards. That's our day 1 install. We can also read sniffers, or we can read the running back. It's changed with game plan. Sometimes we'll have 2 different reads depending on formation if we get a tendency. Basically, all it is figure out where the ball's going, figure out who's going to take you to the ball. That's it when you're breaking down film. Fit the window fast. If there's an open window, fit it. Fit right now. If there is no window, be patient. Don't get caught in the wash. Be patient. We spend a lot of time with our inside backers. You have to stay away from the wash. We're a little smaller. If you even get close to those old linemen, it doesn't take much for them to get a hand on you. one arm, get a little grab in there, and you can't make the play. You have to stay out of that dirty area and wait for a window to hit it. Any outside run, we are hitting the C-gap hard. If we're the C-gap player, C-gap backer, we're hitting it hard. If you got zone away from you, we're going to chop our feet and be patient. Anything pulling away from us, we're going to scrape, fit the window. ISO, we're going to fill now. And we're going to teach how to slip the O-line with speed, right? How do we get the O-lineman's hands off us? How do we get our hand in the right place and beat it with speed? All right, we'll take a look at the end zone view. ISO here, though. ISO against our base. All right. This is the team that will run ISO. This is high ISO alert here, right? They're going to take advantage of this bubble. Let's watch our two backers here. Right now, this is a pretty easy window to hit. Guard block down, tackles out. I mean, we got to go right now. Here they come. Good fit. They're both actually right now, because we're not sure the fullback's going to block. Perfect shoulder, perfect shoulder. Where's the ball going to go? We're in a great spot here to make this play. Our D-end actually made a nice play on it. That's great. All right, zone read. We get a little split flow here. You're going to get what we would call a wham block on the backside. Okay. Here, our linebackers are reading the sniffer. All right, this is their read. D lineman, doesn't matter. They're still reading their lineman. So when our D line gets zoned this way, they go with it. They clog it up. We got a late guy coming to force it back in. But our linebackers, they're following the sniffer. So they're going to backfit this. We force the cutback right to where we want it to go. We're going to go down hard. We got a call away from the back here for the nose. He's going to win the A-gap, force the cutback. And we're going to read the sniffer here. All right, we're in a pretty good spot right now. There's the window. He's going to get kicked out. Here's the window to hit for our Mike. Perfect. Okay, reading the sniffer. Defensive line, take care of what you got to do. We're kicked over here. There's an overloaded look. So we have 4 down linemen here, so double tight or whatever this was. So we're 0-0 here on the guard. We've actually just kicked our front over to make the guard the new center. And that's really all we do to adjust to that. But we're going to read the sniffer. Right, look where we're at. We're in perfect position on the sniffer. Our Mike, who's inserting on the rush. We get a great read out of it. We're going to make the play. Figure out where the ball's going. Got to read guards, got to be patient with windows here. We get a zone play. This is wedge zone kind of, but it all fits into the zone category for us. Once again, we're not necessarily concerned with what the offense calls it. What does it look like to us, and how do we have to play against it? All right. But we should know that right off the snap here, that's pretty messy. It's messy inside. Okay, there's nothing to hit. We're patient. We're patient. We're patient. Patient. We hit perfect windows. He hits this window right here. Our Mike hits this window here. Perfect. Make the play. Now, we're going to back this up, so I want you to watch the Mike linebacker in his hands. Okay? Big lineman coming at him. Look at the hand slip, right? So he gets his left hand on the lineman's left hand. And that's all it took to beat him, because he just removed that hand. We work a lot on which way are we going to slip, from up, from down. Couple minutes every single day from the linebackers, just removing the force hand, right? If I'm going to go to my right, I got to remove that hand from that side. Now this lineman has no power. Just that little slip move, work a ton out of it, work a ton on it, and we can make a lot of plays out of it. Here we get an ISO read. Let's go to the end zone view. All right. So we got D-line movement away. Not necessarily preferable with ISO, but what does it do? It forces a redirect from their bigger player, so they have to slow it down, right? This guard who is eyed up on the mic, right? The mic knows his window is going to be over here. Our D-line's going to take this away. Our window is going to be over there. We can beat that with speed. We get a toss, smoke the C gap. We are going hard outside from our Sam. Boom. Pursuit. Great. Okay. We can also read the back. Depends on the team you're playing, depends on the situation. But we can read the back. So let's watch our inside backers here. The back goes away. Our Sam is going to sit here in case there's a quarterback run. But our two backers here are going right to him. The back's taking to the ball, follow him. Same thing here is a great one. They run into each other. But we know where the ball's going. Get there. Playing the edge. Once again, I'm going to bring it up again. Teach rules that do not let the offense do what they want to do. Right? And this always goes back to me to power, right? When an offense draws power up on the board, they draw a kick out and they draw a run through. Kick out, run through. Well, if you're just going to anchor technique the end or try to squeeze it down, but you're going to let the guy kick out and you're going to let the pulling guard or the fullback, whoever else is the second guy through, run through, you're letting them do what they want to do. I just don't want to do that. I want it to spill it. The only time we won't is if you are the stack backer to that side and you're bumped out. The way we play our match coverage, if the bandit or our rover, our outside backer gets run off the line, there's no spill help to you. So you have to actually force the ball back inside. If you are a detached outside backer, detached from the tackle box, and there's a sweep to your side, we're going to hammer force it back in. We're going to be very forceful, send the ball back in. So not a power play, but something to the perimeter. Run responsibilities, outside linebacker, right? We're going to wash and spill when we're walked up or attached. We're going to force outside runs back when we're detached or when we're getting reached. Physical on wide receivers in the RPO game. And with action away from us, we might have the quarterback, could be cutback reverse as well. So we got to be aware of that. That's going to be the same for our stack inside linebackers if we're bumped out a little bit away from the run side. So let's look at some outside linebacker run play. Oh, here's the one example. This backer, if a pull gets to him, he needs to force it back inside because this bandit could get run off and we don't have extra help here. Now, he makes a very good play on this one. By just going low and hard, and he takes out both guys. I mean, that wasn't me. He made an awesome play on it. But the point is, if we get the reads right, these linebackers should be in a great spot to make these plays. And here comes our Will, right? The guard's falling down because we did a good job up front. We would have made that play. All right, outside linebacker, detached. Once again, we try to get +1 to the ball. But if we can't get +1 to the ball, we need to make sure if a skill player is blocking us, we get off the block. We are physical with it and we're off the block. Yeah, we are smaller, but we are going to be better at getting off blocks, skill players, than they are at blocking us. We have to be. Skill player and an outside backer, we need to win those. I don't care how small we are. I don't care what we are. We need to win those blocks. We're not going to win it against a big offensive lineman or a strong fullback. Against a receiver or running back, we need to win them. Hands on, lose them. Make the play. Now, if you do look from the end zone view, we are +1 with the free safety filling late. Blocked out. He's going to go to the corner. He was trying to block the outside backer. a seal block here on the backer, seal block on our Sam. We would have filled with the free, get +1, but we were able to make the play. Here's our outside backer, reading the tight end. We play them in a whole bunch of different spots depending on game plan. We've walked them up. We've played them off in this position. We've played them at linebacker depth, right? If that tight end's running a lot of routes, we'll keep him back a little more. If it's more of a physical downhill run game, we'll keep him all the way up on the line. So we'll mess around with his depth depending on what we're seeing. But either way, this tight end's his read. That's too strong to the strong side. That's his read. Right? That tight end blocks down. He is coming right now. Very hard and physical. Spill it. We want this thing to bounce. If it bounces, where's it going? Here comes our Sam and our Mike over the top. There's only going to be one guy to block them. If this thing cuts back into this window, we obviously have players to take care of that. That's what we want. You're either cutting it back into someone unblocked, or you have to stop your feet and get that thing to the perimeter. I'll go over option real quick. We don't see a lot of traditional stuff, like I said. Most of it's zone read, RPO, stuff like that. Same principles apply. Make the read messy, make them stop their feet, fly to the ball. So here, if we saw a true triple team, this is kind of what we would do. We would take our D line to the dive, wherever the wing went. So here he goes, our outside backer. So our stack backer would be next. He would feather this. He would slow feather the pitch. See him breaking down. And then the Mike and the free would rally to the pitch. Here was triple in a game here. Once again, let's back it up a little. Our D line is going to take away the first dive back. So they're all inside. They made this a mess. It gets pulled. Here, our Mike went to the queue. He should have been more over the top to get to the pitch first and the Sam to take the cue. But we're still in a good spot. The Mike takes the cue. The Sam would have went to the pitch. They only had one blocker for the two guys. And here was the free coming late. We're matched deep on any route that might have been deep on us. Here's what we want at RPO. We do see some RPO here. If the back's to my side, I know 2x2, we're looking at zone here. We're looking at possible RPO. I have the quarterback, and if he's going to read me on RPO, I'm just going to pat my feet right here. Pat my feet and make this a real messy throw. Now, he was too wide. He should have been inside a little bit more here. But regardless, he's in a good spot here. We're +1 to the run side with our will. Okay, so if this was a handoff, we're in good shape. We're patting our feet, okay? He should have been a little bit more inside, but this is still a tough throw, and we got to put this ball right on him, right? We're in a pretty good position here to make this throw go to the back shoulder, and like I said, that's a tough throw and catch. So we'll take that. All right, another different option look here. We all do our job, we're okay. Read the offensive line. O-lineman goes out, we go with them. We force the give. We're reading the sniffer here. The will's the first through. The Mike's coming as well. If we all do the right thing and we all make our reads, we can't be wrong. He goes with the lineman. The will's coming. The Mike's coming. Let's watch it again from the end zone. We're reading sniffer. There he goes. Go with him. Coming down here, if the quarterback pulls it, it has to be a give. Here comes the will. Here comes the sniffer. Mike's coming over the top. We're in good shape. DB support. So we add our free safety as our 9th run supporter. Corners will be added if needed with coverage checks, but it's usually our free. Here's just a quick view of our free inserting. So here's our free safety. So right now we got 9 in the box. And we got 2 guys deep here. So if we're getting full double tight wing T stuff, we're going to bring our 9th guy in the box, and he can play C gap to C gap on either side. Goal line and short yardage. So we run a zone across goal line to get more players in the box. We keep our eyes on the play rather than the man. Match coverage is going to allow us to get an extra player in the box. It's usually not the free safety, but we're going to keep many more people in the box, especially on the goal line here. Okay. This is what our goal line would look like. The ball's on the 10 here, but 3 down, and we basically take the free safety and make him an extra linebacker. So we have 3 and then 8 across right here. That's what it will look like. So our free safety is here. That keeps our other 4 linebackers always in the box and our 3 down linemen. Gives it a very tough run look. And we can pass off routes straight across the board here, keeping our eyes in the backfield. But we always end up getting a +1 to the ball. Game planning when you're skull, make sure you game plan tackling. Make sure you game plan your movements versus formations that are going to stress you. If you're not sure, make sure you game plan movements to those formations. Make sure your pre-snap gaps are covered. Find the weaknesses when picking up blitzes and exploit them. If you see a guy isn't good at picking up a blitz them all the time. And if all else fails, send the house. Don't ever let a team just keep pounding the rock on you. Now, if you're down by 40, whatever, you can call it the dogs. But if you're in a game and you just need to find a way to stop the run, try to get lucky. Just try to get lucky. Don't ever give up on it. Try to send the house and get lucky. We were lucky we didn't have too many of those situations until we got down to the goal line, but try to get there. Right. Just try to send everybody. So we're on the goal line here. It's pretty obvious what's coming. Try to send the house. Try to make a play. Same thing here. Plan blitzes. Prepare your short yardage movements and blitzes. Prepare it and try to win on them. Know what's going to work. Have your base stuff. Prepare it. Try to win. All right. That's it for my presentation. If we got any Q&A, I'll stay on. Answer any questions anyone might have. There's my contact info if you want it.
Awesome, Coach. Hey, appreciate you once again. Both sessions for today were awesome. Coaches, I'm not seeing anything as of now, but feel free. We got a couple minutes here that will entertain any questions that you have. But these sessions, like I've stated before, will end up on Glacier Drive within the next couple of days, so you can always review there with your staff. Kind of get into more detail with pausing and everything you'd like to do. So feel free, send in any questions you have. Looks like you were quite thorough, Coach. So all righty. Well, it was a successful Thursday night. Actually,
how comfortable are you leaving your corner backside of man-to-man? That's a good question. Game plan. If we feel our corner's better than their guy on the backside of trips, we'll leave him there. If not, we're going to run more cover 6 and we'll double team them and give them some coverage help. But that's just simply game plan and who we got, who they got. Last year we had a good corner there, so we were pretty comfortable. We matched them up against all their best players. It was an advantage for us, obviously, but it just kind of depends on who we're seeing.
all righty.
All right.
Okay. Well, if that's it, Coach, thanks again.
No problem.
Yes, sir. Have a good rest of the night, coaches.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon.